guys, this is Bobby with Bobby Stamps. I do a weekly Facebook Live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and today I shared this beautiful card with everybody that watched my Facebook Live, and I ran out of time. I kind of thought that I would, but I ran out of time and didn't have time to show them how I made this cute, adorable fall box. So that's what this video is going to show you guys, how I made it and how you guys can make it too. And a lot of people on my Facebook Live commented that this would make a great masculine card, and I have to say with the colors in it, I also agree. And I think the box would make a nice coordinating little gift if you wanted to put candy, a gift card, anything like that in there. But it's super cute. I don't know if you guys can see, but I made my own DSP. I stamped on the back using Early Espresso ink on Early Espresso cardstock. And then I did the same thing with the lid. So I hope you guys can see that. And then that is also what I did with the card. I made my own background using the stamp set. So let's get busy and I'll show you guys how to make these projects yourself. Okay guys, let's get started and we'll make that super cute box I was just showing you. So a few of the things you're going to need is your Simply scoreboard. You're going to need your 1.5 circle punch, and then you're going to need just a scrap piece of soft seafoam. And then, like I said, I didn't have enough time on my Facebook Live to finish this project today, so I did have just a few left over from when I originally designed the box. So that's what these little pieces are. So I have a little notepad of what the ones I'm going to have to do for you guys, the little pieces. And then you're going to need some tear and tape and linen thread. And I'm going to use tear and tape to put the box together today. If you're going to send this or give this to somebody, you absolutely should use tear and tape. If you want to use snail, like if I wanted to do snail right now to use it just to make the video quicker, that's what I could do, but I wouldn't recommend it if you're going to gift it because I don't think it would hold up that well. I'm going to use soft seafoam ink, Early Espresso ink, and Balmy Blue. And then we're going to use the Nature's Roots Thinlits that coordinate with the Rooted in Nature stamp set. So that is a 2-set stamp set. And then you're going to need your Big Shot and your Big Shot platform, because I'm going to use actually for this one I do not use that. That was for the card, so never mind that. You're just going to need your magnetic plate and your Big Shot. I just brought everything over from my Facebook Live when I started to do this video, and that was for the card. So I will show you. You need a piece of Balmy Blue scrap, a piece of Early Espresso, and then I just got a couple of scraps of soft seafoam, and that's just for cutting out your leaves and things, and you'll see as I go along and put the card together. So the card bottom, what we're going to make to be the box, this measures 7 by 7, and it's a piece of Early Espresso. And then we have a piece of soft seafoam. This is going to be the lid, and it's 6 by 6. So when you cut your paper for your box, whatever you're using for your box, you want to just cut off a little piece of the scraps and use as a shim when we get ready to do our lid. And I'll show you that in just a minute. You don't use it for the bottom. You actually put the shim in when you're doing the lid, okay? So for right now, I'm just going to move this out of the way because I want to do my stamping first. I'm hoping, I'm laying that right on top of something. Hold on a second, guys. I've kind of buried myself in a corner with my supplies. So let me try and grab my piercing mat really quick, and I'm going to need my chamois. So this is going to be our lid, so we can just start with that. I'm going to use the small leaf. You could do a mixture of both the big and the small, but I just decided to do the small leaf. And then I'm going to use the bigger one when we get ready to stamp the bottom of the box. Let me just kind of slide that out of the way. So I'm just going to start with one of my lighter colors. And what I did was just stamped randomly, and I left space in between my first color I put down so I could come back in with my other color combinations. So let me just clean this off really quick. I'm hoping it's still wet. I accidentally went to work and left it out. And it's a little bit dry, and I didn't take the time to go re-moisten it, so hopefully it's going to be okay. Then I'm going to use Soft Seafoam, and I'm going to do the same thing with the Soft Seafoam. I'm just going to go in and randomly put this down. Okay, and then I'm just going to clean that off. And then I'm going to use my darker color first, or last. So that would be my Early Espresso. Do the same thing. I'm just going to ink it up and just randomly put some leaves down. And I've just got a piece of scrap piece under there so that way I don't have to worry about getting my mat. Now I'm just going to clean this off. And then I'm going to grab my larger leaf and just leave the Early Espresso out. And we're just going to do the same thing with Early Espresso. This is such a dark color. It's very subtle. I'll show you in just a second. But I just wanted just a little bit of something on the box. I just didn't want it to be plain. I'm hoping it shows up on camera because it is very pretty if you see it in person. And I'll hold it up just in a second when I get these done. And that's pretty good for that. Oh, I'm going to leave this open because I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment here in a minute, but you guys can see that really well, I think. I just love how that turned out. So I'm just going to move these out of the way just really quick. I'm going to grab my piece of scrap Soft Seafoam, and I'm going to grab my sentiment, and we're just going to use the one that says, "Be strong, be happy, be you." You can pop it out first and then stamp it, or stamp it and then pop it out. It is entirely up to you guys. I'm just going to go ahead and pop mine out. And I'm going to ink that up in Early Espresso and just stamp that right there in the center like that, okay? And I'm just going to leave that open because we're going to have to stamp our leaves. And I think I'm just going to do that while I have all my inks opened, and then we'll go back to the box and do the scoring in just a minute. So the first one that I'm going to do is I need two, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is, I did one of the large in Early Espresso and one of the large in Balmy Blue, two small leaves in Soft Seafoam, one small one in Balmy Blue, and one small one in the Early Espresso, and then I did the stump. Now, since I already have these pieces, I have it calculated how many I need. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. And then we are also going to stamp that little tree ring thing there too. So we need two small leaves. So let me grab my small leaf again, and we need them in, let me read my notes right, Soft Seafoam. So let me trade that out for Soft Seafoam and not Balmy Blue. So we're just going to ink that up in Soft Seafoam. And these we're going to fit the framelits around, so you want to space them out. Make sure that you have enough room. So I'm just going to lay that over there out of the way. And then I'm going to get the Balmy Blue again in my stamp. And I need one small and one large. So I need to clean both of these. And going from Early Espresso to Balmy Blue, I want to make sure I have those cleaned off really well. So what did I say? One small leaf in Balmy Blue and one large leaf in Balmy Blue. And we'll put that off to the side. And then I need the same thing in Early Espresso. I'm going to need one small and one large. So I'm just going to clean that off and grab the Soft Seafoam. I'm sorry. Did I already do that one? Yes, okay. I'm totally losing track of where I was at. So I need a large Early Espresso and then a small Early Espresso. And then we'll lay those off to the side. And then I need one more of these little vines. So I'm just going to bring in the soft seafoam. Let me see if I have enough room. Nope, I don't. So we'll just use this one. And I need to grab from my stamp set the little vine. And we're going to ink that up in soft seafoam. And we're just going to stamp it because we need to fit that framelit around it. Move that over there. Now I'm going to grab a piece. Thank goodness I have my Whisper White scrap right beside me. I hope I have a big enough piece in here where I can stamp the little tree for you guys, the little tree ring. Not sure if this piece is going to be big enough, but we will give it a try. And if it's not, I'll have to cut a piece. So we're just going to ink that up in early espresso. Get a good inking on that. Not your hand like I just did. And just stamp that down. Perfect. And that's my hand right there. You can see where I got it on my hand. Let me wipe that off or I ruin my project. Okay, I think I have everything, so I'm going to close up the ink pads. You guys just witnessed how bad I can be and what a mess I can cause. Let's close that up. Just going to move my inks, my blocks, everything out of the way so I don't have to worry. This we're going to fussy cut out. So I'm just going to cut it down. And then we're just going to go around and just fussy cut this out. I did try to go in the little, you know, make it the shape that it actually is when we stamp it, just so it has more dimension to it. You just don't want a whole, just a regular circle. And just go up in there and make that V and back around. Put that out of the way. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Big Shot. So let me move the stamp sets 2 out of the way now. And I'm just going to bring all these in that we're going to need to die cut out. So let's go ahead and grab our little leaf we're going to need, and the large and the small leaf. Put everything back in there. So let's go ahead and we'll just line this one up first since we have it right here. Trying to make sure you guys can still see me. Okay. And then sometimes I find it's easier if you cut these apart and make them smaller and don't try to run such a big piece through. And then make sure you have that lined up in the direction it goes. And I'm just going to trim this piece down a little bit more so I can try to fit it on there too. Sometimes with the magnets, if you move them, they start sliding. I'm trying my best to prevent that from happening. Okay, I think that looks good for this one. Out. I'm going to lay it there with the rest. And we're done with that, so I'll put it out of my way. I'm just going to try to keep all my little pieces all together that I'm going to be needing. Because in a minute when I start to put the card together, I'm going to be like, now what did I do with that piece? So this one then will just line up the framelit. And if you don't feel like you're getting a good fit, just flip it and make sure that you have it the right way. Because they should line up, and I think I got it right the first time. Sometimes it's hard to tell, especially when the magnet, yeah, that's good. When the magnet tries to pull it. And I think that one's wrong, so let's turn it this way. As many times as I've used the stamp set, you would think that I would have these figured out. Let me just move that. I think I'm on the, there we go. Just keep those out of the way. And we'll put these up, and then we'll have to run this one twice because we only have one framelit for the small leaf. Just trying to get it the best that I can. And make sure that you guys visit my Facebook page if you want to see how I put that card together, because I did that live demonstration on there today, and you guys can just, if you want to get through all the business talk I do at the beginning, you can just fast forward it through there. That's what I do if I just want to see the product and project and don't want to hear all the chit chat that goes on Facebook Lives. We all know how that goes, right? I love doing my Facebook Lives. I like the chit chat. I like getting to know my customers. Okay, now I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and bring in the lid and the bottom. And I'm going to show you really quick. Just trying to grab these pieces so I can keep everything together. Okay, so like I said, when you would have cut your box bottom, keep whatever that cardstock is so you can use it when you get ready to do your lid. So I'm going to have to leave my scoring Simply Scoreboard out here so you guys can see the numbers that I'm talking about. So we're going to score our box at 2 inches on all 4 sides. Okay, 2 inches on all 4 sides. That's easy. Then we're going to take our shim and line it up right there. Put your lid up there. And this is just going to give us just enough room to make the box a little bit bigger than the bottom. So we're going to score the lid at 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches on all 4 sides. So we'll do 1/2 inch. Whoops. Make sure you got that shim in there. And 1.5. Just do 1/2 inch and 1.5. Do 1/2 inch, 1.5, and I jumped the line. Hopefully that's not going to make too much of an issue. And 1.5. I'm just going to check that out where I jumped and see if I need to It's a good thing I did, because I jumped way far over there. So hopefully when I go to cut that, I'm not going to get confused by that. And I'll be able to cut it without any mishap, okay? Okay, so what we can do now, since we have all of this scored, we're going to just, the box is really easy, the bottom. You're just going to cut up on each of the score lines. So we're going to cut, rotate it, cut up to the score line, rotate it, up to the score line, rotate it, and then do the same thing on this last one. I like to do my cutting before I do my scoring. You guys can do it however you like. I just think it holds the paper stiffer for you while you're making those cuts. So then these are going to be our tabs. So these are what is going to just fold in, going around the box, and then that one will go in like that, okay? But before we do that, we need to just kind of, I'm going to grab my bigger scissors, because we're just going to notch out just a bit. I get a little bit carried away with these bigger scissors too, but the smaller ones, let me see. Don't know if I can do it with my smaller ones. But you just want to take out just a little bit on each side. It just makes it fold and go together more easily when we start to layer it. So just kind of, I just wedge off just a little. I'm not very good at this, I don't think, but I just try to get over off to the side and just do like I'm doing, just notch away just a little bit. And like I said, it just helps the box when we go to assemble it. It's just going to fit together more easily. I'm just going to turn that like that. I think I got them all. So let's move that out of the way. So then we're going to put tear and tape on our 4 corners. I made this box for, not this exact box, it was a different design because I created this for my Escape to Create retreat. And so the people, it was more along the lines of the tropical chic bundle that since it was summer and that was kind of like my theme for that retreat. If you're interested, you guys can visit my blog. I'm getting ready to start my fall retreat. I already know my theme, the stamp sets, and everything I'm going to use. That was my first retreat, the summer one, and I had so many people join. I was so happy. I'm just grabbing just wanted to grab my piercing tool. It really helps me when I'm removing that tape. So I just did mine 1 corner at a time. Peel off the tear and tape, fold it over, line it up, tear the backing off your tear and tape, fold it over, line it up. And with that shim that we used, our box bottom should be just a smidge smaller than, or the lid should be just a smidge bigger than our box, and the lid then should fit on there pretty good. I'm just going to fold this one in. Okay. So that's that for our box for the bottom. Now for the lid, I don't know if it's going to be easier for you guys to see it on this corner, but it's super easy. You're just going to cut up to that first score line. We're just going to keep this little tab right here. So we want to cut away this tab, and then you're going to cut away this tab. And I'm just going to clean that up just a bit. And we're going to do the same thing here. Cut up, and then we're just going to trim away that tab, come back, and just trim away that one. Same thing here. We're just going to trim up and trim up, notch that one away, notch that one away. I'm just going to trim just a little bit more if I can get my scissors to cooperate right there. Do the same thing on this end, and then we'll just notch these away, and this one. So this is what we're going to have left. So you've got your tabs there. Now we're going to go in and do the same thing. You just want to, just a slight trim is all we're going to do. And then we're going to angle these, kind of miter them. Do the same thing with this. And then trim this away. Gonna miter these and miter that one. Okay. And then kind of bend that up so I can see it a little bit more. I hope that I have been in camera angle, guys. I hope I was not out of view. I'll have to go back and watch this before I upload it, and if I was, I'll have to redo the video. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and fold in on all of our score lines. And where I messed up, I got to make sure I'm scoring on the right score line. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put tear and tape on our tabs. Okay. And it just takes just a smidge. And I'm probably just going to use one little strip instead of trying to get 2 on there. Tear and tape's pretty strong. Fast fuse would have probably worked well for this too, but we don't have fast fuse anymore. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over. And let me see, let me make sure I'm telling you guys right. We're going to put those, fold those in. Yeah, tear and tape goes then here. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to put my tear and tape down wrong. I just got done making a bunch of these, but it's been a couple of weeks ago, so I need to make sure I'm doing it right. I thought that was right, but then when I held it up, I wasn't too sure. And you could save this and do this after you fold it in your corners, but I found it to be, because I was making a lot of them for the people that did my retreat, so I was looking for the speediest way to get them created. I went through so much tear and tape for that retreat. So just peel off. I'm going to do this just like I did the bottom. I'm just going to fold it up and do one corner at a time. Okay. I'm trying to work fast, guys. I know this is going to be a long video. There's a lot of steps in this. So hopefully you guys can see, and I'm explaining everything and I'm not rushing too much. So then we're just going to fold these in. So you can just, I folded mine back. It just made it easier to work with. And that's what I mean. You could wait and put the tear and tape on now. But, and then just fold that over. That off. Fold that one over. Okay. Now hopefully our lid is going to be just a little bit bigger than our box, and it's just going to pop right on there like it just did. So how cute is that, you guys? I just love this box. I think it's adorable. So now what I'm going to do is grab all of my pieces. Now the leaves, I just kind of broke the fibers down and I just kind of did them going in. Okay guys, I don't know what happened. I know you are watching this and the video just stops, and I did not realize that until after I'd already uploaded it. So I don't want to have to stamp and cut everything back out. So we were very close to being finished. So I will just tell you what I was going to do, how I was going to explain to you to finish it. I basically just took the bone folder and took the leaves and just kind of, you know, curled them in this direction, you know, both directions actually, just to break the fibers down just a little bit. Once you have that done, you're just going to take the tree ring, put some snail around the back of it, and use the linen thread to adhere that to the back, just to have that little bit of dimension. And then I also put a couple dimensionals on there to hold that down. Then you're just going to take your sentiment and put snail on the back of it. And then you're going to take your big leaf, put snail at the bottom, and put your two smaller leaves there. And then attach it to the back of the sentiment, and do the same thing here. On the blue leaf, I put snail at the bottom and attached the early espresso and then the soft seafoam leaf, and then attach that